no wako asem so aha ye ni atem ye ni atem o kan se na city pepepe na bibia ko ne hello
good morning
good morning sampacho onne wo fom pa
George Boating
George that's saying
boko ani ampacho masema pesa me koso ne se kuta president Mr. Amwatin me panachopi
Amwatin ye Guta president
but on the say
Guta president Dr. Joseph Obing
very good me pachopi nani akasi me pesa me defa o platform kasi so
George kawasam so street cost
yo $60 no abafom and Donald Trump dollar number from Michelle, I'm watching Fadero call Madina Market. Who from Madina Market, Kokrokoo Market.
George, there someone, George. Call some street.
Uncle can't tell me before he said, dollar knock from and the prices, no more buy a thing. Until almost it is so.
Ati George, medasi. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Pacho beti ama oneso kakra mami.
Yo, na ese say.
Yankopon adom na nso e.
Nyame adom. Ase ye chichiri o man. Eti de yi mu ana o ti na ye hwe se o man no e be yi na so aba mfaso amaye. Na de ye ne nra na enye no. Ene ye ya. E ni na so ye hu se enye na ye nka. Benim na se o man mu mra no e kire se so bi chewade a e wo so otua ho to. Eti bese GRA benim so mami agrada homoni na din komo about say obipia to no ho a gift tax also kupia it is a GRA in friend na se mami no so nya available so kwa kupia GRA in friend no mo invite no na to na also tia wo achede na ewa sa media fide channel no kwa kupia to ho na o mai na nya sika na de achire o mai.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Empom to say.
Yankopon adom na nso e.
I'm here.
In
the marriage. Ekremu. Acho ajabin ye hacho.
Yo, openi enko.
Nania, adiba ko ham se o men yama politics say you. De ma me kasa am. Iwra the president, Iwra Mahama. Omo kan se na Nekufuado onyi COVID levy in free home. For omo kan papa. I feel the Abanian Mawa, what's a COVID levy, a car IMF conditionalities. Indeed, the Mipu San said, Tina, papa, and the able to force in Samija, no means a car home, bra, now more cassette, only pro. And yet, you may be cutting a penny so. Oh, tax system, no, oh, baby, now the baby so be show. It were ye, sir, betting living in my share. Doria are two utilities. You told ya not to teach for a 10% more bonus. The level for the mom 23%. No. Then must say Mumpe. Yeah, that I who million payment. And in your management.
Medasi, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
The Richmond, Kasafika Swat.
Okay, Richmond, Pacho meet you.
Nana, me party for me a hypocrite. Me then family Jamfie no me say me for so. Dollar na o di chair no. Party banyi for pia would constituency o pia ratio cow. You per see a GBP fuel. Benny de no ye and say be the dollar and no ye about pe ubia yebi. Udu be bia party
party for no him for
MPP 4.
Ayo.
Omo kasa say but obia would be constituency police station for executive obia ebeje but they dey quiet dollars because Ghana to see this in AD all dollars no yen and a problem mo and Ghana point nya chom ya tete ne ma so driver for tabe no mbeti the lorry fare so cement say 130 ni ade enso ye praise say $30 so enso ye baby ejina na ni ejina Ghana for ya pen correct yempendo pre ade free bad na na for the chief because it is nothing yempade free ye pe bibia se send boy den yemfanye
medase hello Yes, sir.
Pacho, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Pacho, your friend, Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
I'm in the studio. How?
Pacho, you and your champion.
Pacho, man, next time, why?
Nana, Pacho, make a definitely you come out.
Meet you, Pacho.
Pacho, master, mammy, present.
Pacho, but you're already not conforming to anybody.
Pacho. Pacho, master, mammy, present me visa or my opinion. If I'm a baby, a blow bone to why say a boss or baby a draw about 100%, 11% every home at the 18.57% and pay. Into the pancho will be a honor or maturity. Because the anything you to a man on. I turn away you made your dear play energy. The thing haunts us, yeah, a patrol matter, no,
that's it. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Nana, your Cassie de Catna.
Hey, Alaji Gado.
And I won't pump to say,
Alaji, me who you now say?
Yada Alashi.
You.
Yana phone in a bow about tonight, Jimapa.
That's it.
You, Nana, Mamma, Madame for John Bodu. I'm going to identify national Chama, Yanko concern of the day. Nana, Sema, a bay, and young one, and Mammy to do. If you say, a banya or tissue sesiano, what happened? Yanku almost no mobile said here. And I yakasa Ghana 40 years so. I Nanadu or the president. First in history, free education, senior high, or the abrayer. 2 years lungo for a boy, papa, young color baby, or Montanay, Anya school. And he almost about 10 to about moment. Yes, he hey, and Crawford, you know, that I give no more and Canino, or mobile, or no one on Betuaso, it's Sabia Nubo, and I had the whole. Now, almost he is a make Gavina or a spokesman, Ma, Ibrahim Mama. Almost he now will be a Gima or 550 people, our Moya Gima or Kumasi. Now, that time, no man to say, what once the more be that. Till you do up for 2 gold than Noah, you can seek a cocoa in our own or Noah. That's a say, I see this Quran $1. Bia uko cheska imanu or bianim no Ganaha or bianim Babia war. Now, ultimately, I Sasika Pue Adia Jama Minua. They say, you can echo and tea a vessel. Now, Moya did they say, Omoba, or Mona Moya again Quafo, Omoba, Gana, or Besta, and then Yeti Hanum, the Kunko and Timento, Uko and Kruma. I say Ghana, Naedono. I live for me, are you using a young craft abridged, the continental, Niboy. If you only yet they say dollar no about from you, I'm for one way. Dollar about from now, Uko or Uyiko market on the Minto, Yaman, and Maunin Colandia. Now, or be yet the day was to say dollar no about from her. Maybe friends be a $10 about from you. Into your best slow. Ghana the Guardian show Montana. Boshano or Mondisu. Now and then or Mampini, what in Penguin. Cecia Wuni speaking in a moon room honeymoon. Cecia Grona, the high Cecia, your new Obia or boy who buy.
Alaji, I'm for Zianamemfa, Bakunta to Wanafi, young Christian Como. Hello?
Hello,
Yes, sir.
I am one man.
Mama, as you say.
Only our boy, Juma, the young people to be down. May for my Samasoa, only Minia, only my ma, the amount dollars now you do mine more mine. This is the Wusin cities in Yedi. By a man, you will make my area, David, the Yebe high end. Anna, Ujo Bia, some agency, Scar or Chay, any Ghana put one over so. Magana for Mamon, yes, sir. Nasabi, Obia Doya. Adoye kakra wa ye na Ghana fo tuma no agusu na mudi abranti ate munya saade no na sebi ade no ye ne so wa ya de boni ana uhwe ade a ha o man say dollars na ye mara di ni wo man e be say o man no na Ghana fo so a mudi gwa no e ya ti ade no so no adeɛ na dollars na bɛ fom na instead a ɛyɛ sɛ nka adeɛ no yɛte so no obi wɔ akɔfɛ nneɛma sɛ esi yɛama yɛhu sɛ adeɛ dollars na abɛ fom ɛnso sɛ nipa no ɔbɛ ɛno kora na ɔbɛto mu kɛseɛ ɛyɛ saa ne yɛyɛ ɔman no wobɛka sɛ aban bi a wabɛsi so na ama ɔman anim ayɛ den ɛnso yɛn nso yɛka ho bi sɛ adeɛ no ɛbɛfo koraa nipa no abɛfo no a ɔbɛte so no ɔbɛhwɛ sɛ ane daabi ɔde bɛhyɛ sɛ ɛne ɛna adeɛ no makɔfa deda ana adeɛ no makɔfa deda ɛnso adeɛ no sɛsi a na wuyi nneɛma no ɛnso no ɔnhwɛ no ɔte so ma ɔman no yɛnso yɛnwo yɛn ha yɛn ne nua bɛrima ma mfa kwanya so ntia na n'anim wɔ abɛlɛmfi ne nua bɛrima ne nyame nyɛ adwuma
amama de ɛna ebegyina so na yɛde afrɛfoɔ ɛfa no aba na wieyɛ hyɛ no nso ma me abusua sɛ dwumadi anɔpɛ yi yɛde ɛbrɛ wɔ yi ɛyɛ enyumakuo ɛkuku da mmienu healthy life wɔn ɛna de happy delight abɛdwa so ɛna afei kina farmer company limited a wɔn nso so de apc aba saa enyumakuo mmienu ɛna wada roma waso yɛasene anɔpɛ yi yɛde kokrokoo dwumadie ɛbrɛ wɔ aluta continua.
Victoria Aseta.
You are my brother.
You are my brother, Nana.
You are my brother.
The only cardinal on radio.
My brother, my dog.
Yeah, and crowd with the man missing now, so a buyer. Oh, Catholic, Mary, Jamie, and I'm in right. I'm not yet. Oh, cardinal.
Dog. Oh, dog. Hey, my former, let's happy hours. Who woman?
As me,
Mini, I know what. Now, if you're back out there.
Oh, me na nanum na esie. Serewenya. Na ye nyenwu ya ye tinkwamu. Aseda ene de mema ono nyame twedi ampon se wa ma nne atoyen na ya bihie mu ha. Ti pa ye bone se ye be kan wo ha bia na enye de be hye oman no nkran na hye ono nyame dia nyonyam.
Amen.
Na edi yedie abre ye nyina.
Amen. 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 Yo, anopay ya betwetwe Ghana ho enkomo. Na issues na gu ha ne ye bibiri na menim se ekọ AOB so other issues e wo ho a bia wa be pese wo betum but yengalam sei e wo ho MPP for almost thank you tour unity tour enra Eugene wa change no fi ha say MPP for here unity and a right leadership for 2028. Na so mutimi nya saa de ne de a de ekoi de mamu ati hu de nyanwa se Ghana for besa de tumi na MPP 2028. Afi Ghana Police Service abama ne so match excavators 99 and omo akire ankrankran so ahenu ene ngotwe 2008 e wo galamsey asemi ya ho na galamsey ye bisa se ya modern mote saying yakoye nim ya boye homoden ya ade hene ne yewo doc
cardinal
papa
say I na what you said ne ye wo de asem bi to pon no so na opese nke kana me ka say enam say na mampani afina na ono a be ye
120 days
yeah.
Sure.
Tina metwen ama owia
no problem yeah fast start no problem
men kasa wo ho bebre
no problem mate
mampani ene Ghana fo hia ye no em say oba ne ho modern bobi o man ho 70 and 72%.
70 and 70 mema exactly you know
me te say ko aida ubon krata ne bi de to dwasem say o man ho 72%. Enti de na me ka wo ho kakra ne say ena wo ha eni na aduonu a wo de esi wo say wo de be kari ne ho no wo hwe ya mamra no mu a bibia sa ni ho na so eye say ena na poso wo ko anim no na wo hwe akari wo ho say ni city ana ni ye mu a
dog meji wa no see 120 day social contract President Mahama gets a B with 74% pass mark.
Ono ana score no self assessment 74 no man ha.
In fact, the mekan ye you can say Ghana Web.
Yeah, make newspapers back but 72 74 me feel say the important point is was score no B. na wohwɛ grading system no mu a nea ɛwɔ soro paa yɛ A ana A plus kora deɛ ɛyɛ ntama
A plus or MP
o da bi no patcho ɛnyɛ ne saa ɛnyɛ hɔ kora patcho mfa no mu na yɛwɔ B plus wofiri B plus ana woba B nti nidi so no na kyerɛ sɛ ɔno ama ne ho deɛ ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa na kyerɛ sɛ mmɔden bɔ no ɛsɔ ani ɛnso ani saa deɛ ɔno ankasa ayɛ no mefi sɛ ebinom nso so ɛbɛyɛ na menim nkamfoɔ no nyinaa no na mefi sɛ pɔtɔ kasa mu yɛ sɛ ɛyɛ early days yet ɛna ɛdi animu
nhyɛ da nkyɛe
nanso so wohwɛ deɛ ɛnhyɛ da nkyɛe yi a yɛwɔ nanadwo ɛne ne han esum ɛne han deɛ na mɛka ne sɛ woka sɛ wohwɛ baabi obiara gyina a nokora mu no aba a yɛtoo yɛ 2024 kasa no ebi da so wɔ hɔ nanso so ne nyinaa nkamfoa no nneɛma bi so akɔ so a ɛyɛ me nwanwa sɛ mampani wammɔ so yes
ebi ti sɛ
the suspension of the chief justice wanka ho asɛm koraa ebia wɔ ne sɛ
ɛno ɛnka ne contract no
ɛnka ho
sɛ the social contract na yɛ promises baako 120 na yɛ 25 promises na chief justice no nka ho
cardinal
dog
before ansa na ɔbɛsɔ afena no mu asuayɛ no na wadi ho nkɔmmɔ sɛ yɛman yi atemmuo kuo no baa no dafoɔ ɛyɛ biribi a nsakyerɛ sɛ kɔ so wɔ na amanyɔkuo mpanimfoɔ bi kaeɛ ɛna mpaa so abam na last week no na enka assessment no ho but me di san komo no kakra wa ha say mampani wan kasa wa paw aginatukuo say won mo metu fo kwan a yemfa so enye mmra no mu nsachaye wonim say constitutional review commission no omo ye draft bill for constitutional amendment a review non-entrenched provisions entrenched provisions ukokan a ni nyina ewom ya mfa nya adwuma na wo kyese ye ntufo afotuo no baako ewom eye kwan ya befa so de article 146 eye adwuma afotu sem na mai na ye tu mampamrika na wonim abakosam kakra na no me kasa nim se megya no wom sa chief justice ene atemuakuo dwumadie no as early as 1954 from 1951 constitution anya nyina che say enya mre enya fo say the order executive arm na no obetumi de nsa aka judiciary no sa ema eka kosi kra say to some extent we be here 2/3 of parliament to be able to carry out the removal of the chief judge and sakra wa chief justice so eti na ehu hia be hia say mampani obeka ba wan ka no for me adanse ba ko wom ni say ono ankasa me wogide ne arehemu say ni timu ntene no wo sa de no
oh yeah sure
it's a dangerous path
kawira anano oka asem we say for 2 weeks ne waka asem we say sa chief justice processes no a dangerous path but omo no wonya adwen so say nia mo amone president anya adwen wa na mo awatu no no mo ka no ya mana koye say so obi be chief justice dia na say nipa no yemfiansa nka no
anya no kresa amamra no kire kwan ya be fa so
ese no na president nam so
dabi
ade
nim say me gidi e pa say mampani kwan ya nam so no ono ankasa nsemo a constitutional review commission report ba ye white paper no ye vice president ne mampani a wanya ni ba bi ko mampani mails edit to dwa e fa sa ne ma no e kire say ensacheye bi hia say koso ansana article 146 yet media ya adwuma yi na wonim me bayi nsam ne bo hono mo a ye ka e ya na manfo fi say eyi sa aginatukuo committee na Justice Gabriel Puamanda no omo hyehye a omo di dwuma no omo di ba be di dwuma no e wo he sa committee no regulations a omo di be ya dwuma na omo di ya dwuma no e wo he hwan na chichire hwan na hyehye ye prima facie na yɛ sɛ establish yɛ wɔ council of state no ensisuye no ensisiye na no meka wa me sensisu bio sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ ade agina hɔ no mu a ne nan woso ne nan kokumu enwoso ɛwɔ he ɛno ne de wɔ he
ada no ɛsɛ publish
na sɛ yampa na nsɛm a yɛ kan nyina is not published
person be say prima facie no so my establish na ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ hu ana
especially given the fact say mampani ma me chief justice kwan ɛma ɔde anodi ye
mentiase
sɛ yɛde kɔ adu abɔ me ɛna wo na yɛ kɛse wa ma me ho kwan sɛ minyi me ho ano ansa na wohu me sɛ nsɛm na yɛde aba no koraa enyina so bi wɔ mu a me de anu yɛ abrɛw wo sɛ manu yɛ na chi no asɛm a yɛde bɔ me kɔ adu na yɛde bɔ me no yɛnsan tu agyina tu ko foforɔ na onko tia asɛm no mu na kyɛ sɛ wo anu yɛ na me de brɛ wo no antimi ammo sansɛm na ngu ama ida so gyina hɔ
ɛwɔ me ma dwenem
ɛwɔ wadwene mu
enti abadwa kuo foforɔ no ebi a na ɔmo anim de akɔbɔ agu
deɛ hɔ na meka kyerɛ sɛ saa wo gyina yɛ a wotu yɛ no ɛnyɛ wogyina wotu yɛ gyina brɛ no gyina pɛn a wotu yɛ no ɛnyɛ kwa ɛntimi nyɛ sɛ wadwene mu kɛkɛ ɛsɛ sɛ ɛtimi yɛ asɛm a ɛbɛtimi yɛde ba mmara nim a anaasɛ yɛde si nsɛneɛ so a ɛbɛtimi akari na ne kari ɛbɛkari no ne sɛ wode toto anoyie na ɛbaayɛ no a na sɛ anoyie no ntimi ɛnwoso no a na kyɛ sɛ anoyie no bɛyɛ dɛ na atumi awoso no wɔ baabi foforɔ ɛne asɛm no yɛwie dada deɛ meka akɔsi no no enti mehwɛ wohwɛ nneɛma no bebree wɔ hɔnom a nneɛma bi nsisi so a ɛsɛ sɛ ɔman no nke ebesua deɛ anya abotare abodwokyere ne asosɔ nsɛm bia no ansa na saa mampamirika yɛ yɛtui so far deɛ akwa kodure asɛ yɛ din kakra kosi sɛ deɛ di kan a yɛbɔ mmɔden sɛ amammerɛ ɛtɔ so nan yi yɛtu temuafoɔ panyin paa no yɛyi na firi so nie na na yɛkɛse me kɔ abakɔsɛ mu ka kyerɛw sɛ ɛm sɛ na no kora metiɛ meka sɛ ɛm sɛ mampani Rollins ebi anko n'anim ɔno kora no Justice Aban ɛyi GBA ɛsɔre no so sɛ ɛnka yɛnyi no ɛnso mampani Rollins wantu committee no mampani dada Kufuor papa mekyia wa no pay ono so na pen so sa petition si ebi bae eno sa pen so na Ajetwum versus Attorney General any Brighter Kwete yenya sa case na justice dateba o man chiremu odi animu ma wo man chiremu efa sa asemi ho eno achi Professor Mills sa pen so ebinumu nimu a Mame Georgina Wood there was a petition against her again under Professor Mills. Ana President Nana Akufo-Addo ono so na pen so sa de bi koye my point is that mampani Mahama enkwani mampani a what go beyond the issue of petitioner or set up committee na the committee no set mu no me feel say enchiwanchiwa bi wo somebody can catch us say it is another area area media nimu se me ankasa na meyo se mema eku media nimu na beyo ye beko Supreme Court akopentimu afa nema bi ho miguso a ye me ne mpani edi ho nkomo den say ye behwehwe de me maka no wono mu anim de e wo mra no mu kyen de ye yakokenkan no wo mo be ma akwankyere ma yahunu de esese yefa enti it was an important issue that the president missed in assessing himself in the first 120 days. It's a cause for worry. But Abuano was saying, Makasumi way. Achia nemwe esini abebu nyinade. Yenhwe ne emfa de ye ento de ye. Cardinal. And
then Emma Wunyin said president will be fair in his dealings with this Chief Justice matter.
O de maka kodro no maninsiwa. Na mama pointers. The entire me feel said the process kwanya ye faso no there's some inherent error in it, and I may need to invite the Supreme Court to give us some intervention and answer interpretation on that matter. Until the baby amaka kodru no me conviction no me de beko and answer me ne ayi wonu mu a ene me ya adwene ebe ka bom ne yaye say a year fine anya yesus na if you am ko na menya adwensa kire bi na manko so a yetim but Ghana na ye chichire no yen kan nu say enye ne enko asemo a and I want so beyond this because as my can cardinal beyond the petitions, you know, and come also the overall intended target. Anything people say, said no change chief justice. Justice Ayibafu Boni acting. Yeah, me penny pa, me bunu pa, opemasem. All you acting, not just say case be a bekobiano. I buy a lawyer for a quacodin kunimana. Is that the case?
Perhaps.
Have we ever had that in the history of this country?
Perhaps.
Me say na me say yanya bi sada.
There will always be a first time.
Oh, cardinal enti yan to ya book kakra na de ye no. To me die e woni bre. Emre ye ninka so ma me mfansi ho. Na me nko won sempo a ode to ho anopai no so. Tietia 1. Thank you to Minia Eugene Eugene Antwi Eugene Boatentwi oye katachie senior me chawa do pay opoku are for dey say won say ya na wo de omo ben prempa no mo di mu ye pa ha katachie saasam no masem ye tietia wo ho afutu sem bi wo Yakubu
James Once now,
Miss Dino. No.
Once now, Timmy,
or the Biafra,
Jamie.
Aye. A tiba conchichemu, a dunkno copim, a dunu insia.
James 1:19-26.
A futu sembio.
As I say,
may bono tofa. Didi kaino or say, ma was so enyemre na entie kese. Ya sutie, mu omuntie kese. Na to wano nareka susukasa na afrezu so susuma ubo emfu ma ubu mfu de okano no aboju chere boaseto nti me dane na boaseto na me di bedi kan abotre ene editie asem na ye asutie na tie obi be kasa wo ho nso wonya wadwene se wutie de wo kana wonte na watie ena wutie asem so a kadina sese sia wutie mi wano ayadwom wutie mi enti that's the way it is se wutie a esese oka wanutum na wutie na ode kwa adwendwen mu a eho ena nsusuye papa ni nyina ebefri aba na aboa ama nsusuye akoyie cardinal enti eno soso de meka fa ho ano no James 1:19-26 bra wo moye thank you to say ye internal ayiu afutu sema medema wo mo eno no say muntie kese munsusu nkasa na munyi abufuo emfirimu na wo ya abufuo afirimu a na kyese wo ma odo na adi tintima enti cardinal de meka fa ho no
before we back on next issue no Mabel say Nana Alkese President Akufo-Addo's government lost some cases at the Supreme Court, so what is the point?
Exactly now that president Mahama tama no ye president dada no na obey president any case bi ana wa winie if na no kra de me de ye me nwanwa ba ko attorney general the first move enter null prosecutor in a number of cases ana meboa
okay
me sa case ba ku say na me nyaaya enka o ma case travel ye ma ye akwete papa no eso so ne strategy a oye no me say ne wana makutu no fo me say ne hwan obi kutatumi okuta sika na wutu no fo a won same ewo mu enti aja waye de obeye no nti me de eho no ya na ha madwen kakra se yen kaya bakosem Share a case be by a celebrated case. Kind constitutional law, over kind. MPP versus Attorney General, 1993, 31st December case. Who was my president at the time? Ghana Law Reports, 93-94. A woman?
Abaji.
Sabrino judges are now appointed to the Supreme Court. And so they gave a ruling, a decision, a judgment that went against Emma, a true state Bikrano. In fact, the minority, Omo dissent here, just as Acha, any Abba, Ono say, Omu the entire no dissent no cry, say, Omune do no, Uncle Ben Crumley say, I don't know, Omu the judgment, no macrana, and Sha and Yadia, Abanu.
He won't respect it.
Yes. The judge, my judgment. It should be judgment that we need to say, you did Buobema. Now, judgment, I say, I don't cry for Buoma because the president was still the president, the head of the executive. That was part of the argument. No more say as argument na kasana na plaintiffs ne no as I say a court parliament na ye emremu nsachaye. So as here. And so that decision was made. The man sansam no de anadwuma na semba whatever it is. Ade bia wa hyase no e wona wieye. Enti wono mo efi se ne bibia ebi nsi da si a enu nti no cheze de ombeya no ombeya no omunye careful about that. Kadna mame nkoba bia ma ho den pese gina no pay. Eye one kasa mame take you on. If you say Cardinal only production crew there if you ha matena ha kan say sa de na mudi atudwa no me ya me mpesa di no bo asembe ne ye ka kwan boni a ye fa sutu efamu agudie ho asem edina mudi ama no mama mkiremu ha say enye sa ne ye frɛ no ye ka galamsey ye gather them and sell boaboa no na koton enye kwan boni ye fa sutu efamu agudie ne frɛ no saa ya ma man yi ya ka ho obi akodi boni yakɔkye na yɛsɛ yɛma ne din foforɔ na din no mom ate ani ayra saa din yi so ɛwɔ na bakɔsɛm a wohwɛ mu a de ɛkyerɛ nyina ne sɛ ɛnam sɛ wo famu agudi awo ɛnɔɔso media ɛnɔɔso na menua kwamra baafoɔ ne de ɛnɔɔso na Isaac de ɛnɔɔso nti yɛnkeka mom na adwadifo a ɛbɛtɔ no dodoɔ no yɛka bɔ mu a ɛbɛyɛ dodoɔ kakra ama yɛnya boɔ pa nti yɛmmoaboa no ne yɛntɔn gather them and sell na sekyerɛ no na famu agudi a yɛtu no kwan bɔne so ɛno so ne ne din ɛyɛ nyamransɛm ɛyɛ bɔne nti yɛmfrɛ no saa kadna maka no awie no ma menka sɛ ɛnɛ ɛfiri nnɛre kwai na ɛka si so nhyehyɛ biara ɔman yi bɛyɛ aban bɛyɛ tumidifoɔ bɛyɛ na yɛnsakyera mmara a ɛbɔ ban ɛfa efamu agudie ni wuranom ɛho na wɔnom anya so mfasoɔ yɛbɛkyekyɛ mu yie no anhwɛ a deɛ ɛbɛyɛ bia enkosi aga sɛn na meka no wokɔhwɛ article 257 clause 6 na ɔse wowɔ wasase wowɔ wo nsuo wowɔ wo dan wowɔ wo fie na yɛkɔhu efamu agudie wɔ fam no asase no mu hɔ nom a saa famu agudie na yɛhu no hɔ nti no wasase no ɔman no tumi di ahoɔden de bɛfa na famu agudie na yɛhu hɔ no yɛtu a emu ɔhamu nkyɛmu wɔ ha no ɔhamu nkyɛmu ne nyinaa yɛ ɔman dea wo na asase no te so sɛ nyame na yɛ wadom o wo nananom na yɛ wadom o wote so no wonni so mfasoɔ biara deɛ ɛbɛyɛ ne sɛ wonni mu kyɛfa sorry deɛ ɛhia ne sɛ yɛtu famu agudie no wie a ɛnam sɛ yɛtuo no wasase a wote so ahwere wɔ anaasɛ wonsuo bi ɛho aka anaasɛ wodwuma bi a wodi wonfuo bi asɛ no nti yɛma mpatasika no akyi no yɛsɛ yɛma obibi a yɛfrɛ no sɛ royalties kora meni hu sɛ deɛ sɛ wo a na wote soɔ no yɛmfa bibi ɛma wo na fa so wa no but ni wuranom yɛkyekyɛ sɛ ɔha mu nkyɛmu no yɛma obi deɛ dabi ha adwene enti kosi sɛ yɛbɛsesa saa mmara yi article 257 niama wono mu a wo mo te saa de no so wo mo anya mu chefa bi na aban anase tumi wura oman no so nya mu chefa bi na ya che ni nyina kama no da ne da eho bambo ne be yasem efise wo kotu efamu agudi a wo mo ete so no wo mbedi hu nya ebedi wo mo wo mba bre ho asen ye ne ayente ho no ya ne sana ye refi na bakose mumpo kada ye na samra ebeye mra firi se bribia na broni kokko pe se enko obeji ye nsase te se de waje ensase wo South Africa eni East Africa no ye nananom bi sore ye na nye nananom kwa ne sore ye wonu mu ade fi amanoni a abeto ensase a ye fa no say concessions na on ba tu efemu agudie ni ade ebi so sore wo enyiresi de na omu kan nyina ne say ya mpene ema ya sase ebinu mefa no ho na mensa saba John mensa saba oba ayi Gold Coast Legislative Council anim 1898 bedi adanse se saa de na wo mo ye no enya de aye bepene so ena wo mo dane wo mo anoka se okay ye monsase no ye na emfa Crown Land Bill ho asem na making na mom so ko hu famu agudie wo wasase no mu a ansa na obetu no ese obeji tumi wo ho. That's the origin of it. A colonial relic, a colonial legacy. Then in 1962 Kwame Nkrumah ema ne be ye mra ye nhihye mu say unya efamu agudia eye oman ne dia na oman tumi wura a ye mampani ene kuta no ono no be kire de ye mfanye me say ye nsesa sa de na ya ma wono mu a wo mote so no ohamu nchemu be ye se aduonu anase aduonu numbi se me mathematics na me suggestions den ya ye configure bibi ne mfama ownership no ye ma omu bi region anase man senior wo no no ye ma omu so chefa bi ansa na ne kese no ye se e your mind dia hwe ukọ ahimfie sisi ya obi a oye bofo oye ha okowuram no kokum abo akese bia ne sre odi ba ahimfie adentia tumi wura nanso ukoka se abo no onfa ne kese ri nyina anfa mra ahimfie a ha ne be ko hayo. That's a problem we are dealing with. And this man ye bet trasia kase ye kun adi ye shase nyane kadna me ko me akas mu kakra report egu anmo the cost of gold where a University of Texas School of Law and omo yes report 2010 nipa kunkum enso ayeseye enfu ayese no enoboya yegu no the year 2014 or so, 2004, me will report. I one more. I just say, quiet na ya koko tu a from a good deal one more. Exam for so a ya na young Runica yin. A ramunam, I ye never Hong Kong or Hamunchi mu sika dudwa de maye na a bro the nefree sika koko 2004 report. Any Forestry Commission report enya me na make yakama sesia ya mini ukese cardinal Ghana Health Service omo ethical committee omo aye studies ama universities me sure say CSIR for our report CB University of Cape Coast Chemistry Department be also report TB say ya unu say ba bia ye tu famu agudie ni pet wonmo wo mo moja enya edie anase nka akom enkwada ye mu wo no e wo sa mia yi e fa dodo no enam se niema e koso wo mo maame num yamu nti wo mu di dem ansakra ya wo nom ebinum di timienu na eba ebi de akoma mienu na eba ebinum nsane ade bebre ansa na memme tete wo mo mema yemu eye mre eko na ema so a ewo omo sexual reproductive system na nkasa essay omo menses nima ye kan wasem yanim na gambia ya mibusa se hwanu ne koye sade awo kan ho a awo no wo munim hawo ya nkasa enti mewie ka no emra no nsakraye na mra no nko antumi nye aje se yen Ghana fo ya dwen ya koma ya twa sisu se ya wadi nyina ho kwan enso nye ni nyina na ye wo famu agudie na eni wo ya ye te asenko a nananom abakọ wonum a eye nchirima a ye beba wonso wo mu chefa enti wuyimu nipa miensa akuo miensa ye eye mu ba kopẹ wonum a wo mu ni osisi ayi eye mienu a wuye afiri miensa mu dey na majority adenti ene ahopre bebrebe ahopre bebrebe ahomaso bebrebe sikapene ahonya pe bebrebe why ehe na de ekọ bebredi a kire amannei wo mu dedam if say wutu no sunsum wo mu o ebi anya sika say tam enso na wo da fam ontimi sore na wakọ if ade a friend test mpo walusu yensusum prempe sika yentumi ni kadna medase
meso so medase papa James Kwabena Bonfa Junior PhD ena ote nenka no Kabila ose yensusum pre ho
yensusum prempe sika yentumi ni
ochehene se yenyanya nimdia ye de betu atu ni yie ni yenya ho faso a sika akọ empro enwo be bia wona enhye wo mai anopei Honorable Isaac Boamenya Akon MP Efia constituency in the Western region Watrase na Honorable Doc 120 days no na no mama nanka ti next no mama nanka bia nka na minu abeba nka obedwa me pa mama na tenente ho kakra 120 days no say 120 days president anka chief justice asem na yere ngwa pa timpacho nanse me no ye fine pa nti me pese obubofu me timpacho 120 days no wo bibi kan ho a afa wi a no aba ofie party o party mu na galamse ho asem
kadna no pra se wo ya nyame so me ma wo nyame
oh ade my de dog oh dog na say kam no e fine Honorable Efia
kadna
papa
me da CP in the anopin so ma me fa inchi akese me fa ma etefu nyina na minchia the Kabila man tembia me huni bia na me hwe Musa na ho fenete onyinda ho bi hu aduru kura ho no Kabila wabo adwuma ya sela looking young and fresh na minchia efia funyina so onada Roma ye adwuma wo parliament on cherry bear 2 days ago one of my hard working constituency executives and Kofi did a birthday. Okay. Mami Gina a free denomination. Happy belated birthday.
If I say
Henry Kofi.
You anger Henry Kofi. And yeah, Utrinkwa. When we saw my belated happy birthday, I mean shroud.
Na in summer year can was a day. Mami shall simfi o man penny 120 days.
Before that, I'm cousin no so now Waunia George.
Oh yes. Yay! MP for Takwa former, but George Mekuduka. Sunday I would me or shall say Saturday now or any 50th birthday. Oh. Yes. It's a mini George fellow Santa and Eshe the way Atakwa for boom or better nature would D na Eshe penny for water kwa him for supporting na. Na etem na atakwa for kan wedwuma pa oye ma takwaman na wonyina wo nkei on the good worker George Mekuduka wa ye watakwa na osefata day is celebrating inti this morning George wherever you are my brother happy birthday and I wish you long life and prosperity. I mean so omo kwatentina wodin wom na bibia odawa komadu bia wo pede ebokoda asum takwama na yankopon onka ho na oma ombrim Musa ose na ofata.
Amen.
Omanpenyin 120 days in office. Cardinal say yehwe ye na bakosema Ghana na yenhye da yenye used to assessing ourselves in 100 days. ever from 1992-93, President Rawlings, Odi Guano Eba President Kufuor any time na yesha say say 100 days yebeshana yehumana omanpenyin waye, but other jurisdictions are a very very significant milestone omani bia o hwede say omanpenyin bi ba na say odi be bosume ba sana nature abakwa na omano wo access because oye signal na oba no na o chere omanpenyin no bose or the share omano or the commitment and the willpower obutum odedi na oda akunenim eti Ghana nyame na adom omanpenyin John Dramani Mahama ansa na oba be do omanpenyin ansa o hyebo pi nzama osede in 100 days opede oye na ode magana fo enti no oye important dey push the 120 days ye nyina ye bukompo na ye hwe some of the things omanpenyin ne ka de obeye na ye hwe de wetum waye no waye ni ye ana na yetum ye da hwe ne performance odikan ye di tum no ye de ma omanpenyin John Dramani Mahama o ka kire ye de nyame ya adoma obe reduce ne ministers also obe ma ye 60 ministers or abanim owie so a obe make sure the affirmative action obe ma ye 30% of women in ne appointees or the beba. As we speak now, omanpenyin will appoint 56 substantive ministers of state. Waka 4 obey 60. In the letter of ne appointment of 60 ministers, Obia Bekade wedi them assembled. However, say a female representation on the government now. Okade obobo modena wa about 30% of na appointees were women. But meno kasi appointees in the government are warrior in Besia for a cabinet and the general appointees now. Just about 15% in a warrior in Besia for actually in the cabinet there seem to be just 1 or 2 women in the cabinet of 19. It's not sure that omanpenyin wintum will achieve 30% for women in government. Now, Eshe omanpenyin obedi omani dubium na o make a lot of commitment there obey yi taxes o de fi yen Ghana for wondo or shebode obey levy obey betting tax obey COVID-19 levy. At the end of the 100 days, omanpenyin we yi some of the taxes they be so on my wintum we yi. Into F betting tax in Pobeye controversy or parliament because F propaganda what the betting tax na year na no pedo watch the lot to na a better which are organic in na yejido tax. But when they came to parliament, they were exposed to know the yes lottery tax no hono but yanji lottery yanji lotto tax ukruma de National Lotteries Authority wanje lotto tax bia. It was just the sports betting and an award general tax. But whatever it is, they removed the betting tax, they removed the e-levy. Big area, and I expected there Abanu Obeye Fido was the COVID-19 levy. Unfortunately, when you because I share the revenue stream now, baby Aban Oji Jiniske Fino. And the effect of e-levy now we na. So what can they COVID-19 levy and so abanu onye sika obotum ode bumanu musa opede oye. It's strategically oshada and a win ye COVID-19 levy, which is to me oye dishonesty. Abanu win tum win dinu kwa one fair magana for. Because as may ye taxes now and less the taxes no. That's the time no so na say AEB na AGB or say that extra Ghana for why AEB na AGB. But it take glory for one, not the other one. And I think that is politically dishonest on the part of Omanpenyin. They obey any them. Kadna say Bekaya Ghana had the Adekra Omanpenyin one boa na sela etume with the okodopa the security of the state. The first 100 days of the president, one of the worst times they discover impunity by the government of the day. The way imbebu na another aban NDC aban na ne functionaries what you see chrome work with government agencies was work sack nkrofo wo yi CEO said was sack one our perceive want to be party people the bedwumedi to trust them to the extent that echo boase kra ebinum kwade wo akwaje mining site ma ode true sembe ma nipa be another day enum wuwi wo kroma day. President Nankasa Nifie Bole Bamboy Krano. There were demonstrations there. And Menoka say just to confirm an MC or so Krano. Or the Antokwaba Mankopeda was your president and a deputy minister for lands and natural resource. Ni wonfie Bole Bamboy. Yes.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, can I say there were thugs who had gone to the house of the president in Bole Bamboy and that of the minister, the deputy minister for lands and natural resource, who is the member of parliament for Bole Bamboy. What was she wonder man? They had to do further security beef up in
the appointment time.
Appointment them na make so make a security now security of the state in the first 100 days. I must say it was highly compromised by the government. Now make even after the 100 days, Nancy Yampo on appointment the same impunity is going on by the NDC and its functionaries. It's the security that or fairly completely when you talk about the first 100 days. Cardinal say if you want to say on no metro trend kakra because remember be rather Galamsey fighting him. But my boy there a promise to fight Galamsey in the first 100 days is completely abysmal. And as I make when I enter into conversation, I be do Galamsey fight na ye beba na ya kan wasem nti major ono medato. It is a my boy first 100 days no tofa wo promises are omanpanyin no ode hye Ghana fo. Ena ne ne ye a oye ena say baby aye wona. On a score of 100, baby, baby, make them man 50%. 50% because men can't we feel nina, but most cases they will pass are also in here. I think that the president and the NDC government are barely on an even level. But actually, the seriousness of areas around the security and the fight against Galamsey Kana. Adekura all kodo Ghana yen nyina yen Canadian ye the way abano oyi nkrofo edi wo government institutions in the first 100 days adekura so omanpanyin na NDC aban wo ye ya wa Ghana fo wodi yapa because omanpanyin share emrade another chief of staff by directive. The woman on appointment after 7 December won't continue. But when it came to the implementation, one appointment even prior to the 7 December, one appointment 1 month, 2 months in our second one. Menoka say waku nature me ebinumpa woman on appointment 1 year, 2 years ago. They are trying to hunt them out of their work. And man, why ni na ne there Robin Peter Echo PMMC, for example, in the Wabedan Gold Board here. One appointment over 1 year, some of them 2 years. The acting CEO and the Nawaba Sema Yebeka bi. What try letter ma what terminated the Munkrofuni now one appointment to the Wonkufi. The Munkrofun where Ghana for. Me who baby ayebo drew or Ghana had ya. Yana dream no. And there's a Juma and a particular dispensation. Not sure that them person and necessarily said a politician, another beneficiary of a political party. Meaning, baby, I question at the Madini fee. In time past, 1998, 2000, Ghana Revenue Authority from 2002 2003. Demo concept was never there because every year be for the Pejuma. GRA alone, the Juma Wafan Crawford Nancy, almost about 500 people's appointments were terminated. And by payment, nobody has given clear reasons to the people why the appointments have been terminated. Every sector in this country, they are doing the same thing. And you're very, very disappointing and disheartening. Yeah, did the Martin ye di ra yen modern politics him because man pedi e chene there say aban necessary and some of the yen colleagues and this phone one comments say chedenyo enyan ye wonedi ye de yen nkofo be ba abeshim Basin Tale also one of their I said say no abani be introduce police support, immigration support, now about the support. What the NDC phone quote what one begum so that that should be opportunity bar or back actually why there you pay your funny page you man says you pay politicizing. It's when I look at all of these comments na me shemana oru kodo na me shemosa aban why is silent na not cheddar or your orchestrated attempt today say in Ghana no wabe NDC against the rest of this country, which I think is very, very unfortunate. And or very important today, Abano, obetre leadership. Abano bedani dida magana fuinami with or your government for all. Ghana is not about NDC and NPP. Ghana is bigger than these two political parties. And you don't need to be a known NDC person, another known NPP person, and sana ayijumo Ghana. Ansana se kita nimdi aku school area ne pejuma wadamo Ghana hade. That thing must stop. Enti obia otie na NDC aban ontie na oma yenshe nso de. Say ya koda na politicizing employment in this country. A day is coming. Nwana oba buama omani achichim ya kuninim yenya because we are going to put square pegs in round holes.
Mate Honorable Isaac Boamanyako, Efia MP, and Oterin Kano. Mahama is a trickster. He selects 56 to system ministers, but the rest on committees, government appointees, and task force. As we speak, there are presidential staffers for all regions. What does that mean? Really? He sees Ghanaians as people with low pay, and so he can trick as well. There is Ghana Export Promotion Authority and now Accelerated Export Development Advisory Committee. What is the use of this? Please tell him we are watching closely. Obaya Edifree Emena and Odiwe say Ebaye. Minia Reverend Charles Usu Esoso Namiadum Wabiduha.
Kana. Yes. Me galamsey ma mentri adu. Munko galamsey no.
Sir.
Ma mumbo galamsey ni too because oda Ghana free na ye na akomado.
Call it illegal mining.
Illegal mining.
Yes. I chrono dia na ye friend no sa no.
Yo. Sir, ono na ye ka Ghana for waters. Illegal mining. I'm guided by my colleague. Kana. Reporter yensa catch there. Just from the month of March coming down, 99 excavators. And 208 people now watching when excavators we seize what Ghana had in the fight against Galamsey and illegal mining. Data nature there from Western region to Eastern region to Ashanti region to Upper West region. Nina dem jumedi okodo hon
Orkodo
na ehwe the way Ghana fu nyina was sorry tia the fight against this illegal mining yenu akena shigbe ena ne nkrofo wode ahoden media houses na obia de na nutum. In fact, Obeye one of the major reasons since I would access even the government of MPP. Akufo-Addo the ne tum or the two line 2020. Yeah, kasi the fight against Galamsey and other illegal mining. Why worse than when the NDC took over this reins of government? In fact, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources publicly Orusu. Honorable Amakufibua. Orusu ma they say Galamsey another illegal mining. Why jinisem? Ehin fan excavators na no kika we ofibe. Wan kwanjo from Iwiem no be you. Ghana hade ya na nzama no obodri. Nipa na o guide ya no do call Galamsey site. ena nkrofo so no wo ho ban ma okọ baby a wo to them galamsey no na say aban take power from January say ye wo May na say ntokwa Ghana fo na wo kutia galamsey wo dream there them fight was not being done with the needed force na say esde ba be kutia galamsey na say galamsey no say simple wa be worse. Forest reserves are now obedient to Munko Hokrano. Erastus Asaridonko. Also, that them forest the says, what tomb gold. In Crawford machines are corner was say no, Equana Cokamasama was the day that grow Buku Krumadi. Nina Nipa no but the Muncrophone Woman. From the security services through the government of the day. When you know was Asena warrior them, Jumedia Kawasemi. Abane Shem rather say, watch you. The the madina a foreigner wodoboko court now we jail you Chinese if I was there watch it win government is there or deport one back to China. Why were they not prosecuted and jailed in this country so that to serve as deterrent to foreigners? Nana yeah can say in the India for na other nationals in our one Jim Galamsey na illegal mining na. Says foreigners want to illegal mining in campus in Ghana full Krumade. Go and check in those communities where mining. Because when you ban nem crofa, what teach that what bought them and crofon one ban. Mr. Meka. Na minya kabira kabibi. Why? Yeah, with that apart from illegal mining, no be into Mubobra Ghana had debut. Yekwa Takwa, Yekwa celebrity Honorable Duke's birthday. Go and look at the roads in Takwa. In fact, very, very terrible. Extremely terrible. If I want to go to the they are the worst developed. And Tisikana Yenyan were illegal mining and mining and Ankasemuno. No one for to the good people of Ghana and work incident. And this one, Ben Fan Subornumbo only NDC government. They've been there before. MPP Suya Bay. How come they yen to me structure and developmental path in such a way there? You may use the mining areas. You can development here that microphone. You will gradually remove them from this craze of illegal mining into other economic ventures. But here's the case that there's no development going on. Gold price, it's at its highest level over the last couple of months. Aban cried the Abama Parliament, Yaman power to even tax further these gold mining companies. What has been the benefit to the good people of these areas? Pristia, Bogoso, Takwa, Obuase.
I am free.
I am free. Yet, what about this thing now say? So what you drone, now they show the devastating nature of this illegal mining. It's an eyesore. And then there's no agency. When was the last time I yet say I ban all my improper roadmap to fight Galamsey? On tomb. Mekawa hade, Mekawa baby there. Even the gold board now wadabano. It is one of the avenues that Abanu or use or that perpetuate the business of illegal mining. Because in consider otum on my license for certain people are able to trace where they buy their gold from. When we wanted to do them amendments, so there's no traceability as to what to gold, you know. What if you crofo him? It's gold. What am I one crofo? They won't to I'm saying one quarter of him. What kind of country are we building? Mr. Ghana for. Ndi sabana asemu. MPP for na asemu. Or a serious issue for this country in Ghana. Ekwata kra de me no ka say insu keka ye bonum kra yenye bi ni anum. Insu ni na say, River Pride ni na say. Insu aye wo nyina wo. All our water bodies have been destroyed. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And the government of the day has shown no commitment, zero commitment. Minister, Wako Commission, Blue Water Guards. Honestly, shared Blue Water Guards. What the Blue Water Guards? What have they said about their usefulness in this fight against Galamsey? Kabila ati bibi afawa. So job for the boys. Go check what's the microphone na they are just party functionaries. Was so call 2000 bosomosa because you pay a great job for the boys. What kind of country are we building? One and the other no. Adanko dada do. It's yes you pay a fight against Galamsey. Yet we have no commitment. IGP na Nankro Force Wako sees 99 excavators. Warres Slipper 2008. 208. 1 million. What they intend to do after these seizures and these arrests. Now abananka sanka sanche Ghana for I believed and I was waiting there. Oman Penyin Nangsabe have an address to the state on his commitment to fight this illegal mining in Ghana. Because Odana Kumada Osede Otum declare Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Okache when he was in opposition there, we didn't declare state of emergency. Obey Minister will be there, won't declare state of emergency. I say, you don't know this guy, you don't know this, you can fight it without the state of emergency. Obey do so state of emergency. Also opposition no call for state of emergency.
Yes, I know.
And you know. Mese Oman Penyino on Buemunonshia Ghana for we want an address by the president. Now President says says President Ghana, Vice President Uni Ghana, Speaker of Parliament Uni Ghana, says Ghana one usher, the Chief of Staff.
Acting Chief Justice.
Acting Chief Justice one also any acting president. He has no capacity to act as president. Where is he getting that power from? The Chief Justice one or Chief Justice. It's just a standing gap. One and was so in Parliament don't obey a woman blessing to be a Chief Justice. There is no substantive Chief Justice in this country. And the Chief Justice has no power. And if that is so, the president should give us notice there. Oniho, Vice President Iniho, Speaker of Parliament Iniho. It was the two know what I'm a Chief Justice. So that BBD about Chief Justice was the acting president. Acting Chief Justice as president. It's any not share the disrespect. And Miki men can't find Dagger. Me who how the president of this country Botum was Ghana to the point today. Uniho Vice President Yar Uniho Wukudi Mother's Day or London or Nyeshe. Edi Mother's Day in the Bray. Speaker Uniho. So who is running this state? And it's all because you them at the constitution of this country. And I think that so that you rise up now you make sure that them 1992 constitution now it can vote it for trauma here no. One trying there it was for good reason. It's about my will be able to as a man will book constitution of the Republic in Nimtia. It's been the I'm very disappointed in what is going on so far with the fight against illegal mining, with the position and the work of the president in terms of Musa Wobu Omano. Honor Vice President na speaking in our Ghana says yeni eja same says ya yeboko no de ombo ani mbuma no medase.
So medase papa. Many Reverend Charles Usu also ewa hase anope. Edahada.
Edababia the piece of my
Ibi aboko de.
Onyame de me kwa cheme. De wotosoro a obintine so. Ona wiase nyina ya ne dia. Na se wiase nyina ya nyame dia na kese me so ametimi dia. Ni nyame akoa. Wa ma de pa cheme. Ti nana akusedan kuto ne de ma awrade. The Ghana de nyame ya adom na se nsuo toman a ade nhiraba. Na abeja yemfi na fe the traffic is ready. Abeka ho. Ye kwan yom se se ufi West Hills Mall eba atala anim ho. Awo ho afọ yes pa na da bia no dom so abeka na kakra na o magya no mko na o say any pay free Cape Coast Takra de even the Ivory Coast Ghana so say Accra ayekesi ama say owo ha ne free crowd bujumbram so o yedwuma Accra obiti Winneba ba adwuma ti kwan no eye e kan say international road na ɛyɛ major ankasa na wohwɛ 3 lane no kora ne ɛnso yɛn dada na amoa bɛyɛ 1 lane te ɛduru sɛ nsuo nnora sɛ mekɔ fie na ɛhɔ flooding ama tankers ayiri ama tankers kora den akam nyɛ sɛ bi ɛyɛ tankers na aka kwan no ɛna ama traffic na den apale saa tramɔ no kora den ɛkɔ
wow
fortunately one side hɔ no Amalina area hɔ no na ɛhɔ deɛ nyame adaro ma nsuo ni wonti wotimi kɔ fie tada ɛwɔ fie no sɛ nsuo tɔkora sɛ woka fie nti ɔmo yɛ gates no ba Ghana no mentimi hu sɛ yɛde nsa ka biribi a yɛsɛ yɛtwanya medi awua ma ansana yɛbɛyɛ biribi a nti yɛsrɛ sɛ contractor no ɔma ne hom no so kakra anɔpa mi hu sɛ times a report to biribi ɛfa full bridge a nkɔfoɔ yɛayɛ a wɔmfa so na wodu tetegu a na ɛha adwen paa because of nipa yɛtwa mu ɔkwan nti na de traffic ba hɔ ba deɛ ɔma yɛ amanfoɔ so ɔmomfa so na wohwɛ deɛ ɛsi wɔ mala market a nana kwasi da mekɔ asɔre biaa medu a meyɛ late because mala market yɛ Sunday na ɔmudi dwane kɛse paa ɛnipa a ɛwɔ hɔ nyinaa ɔmadwe sɛ ɔmomfa food bridge no so kwan no mu na ɔmde hwibaro ɛnam mu di wei nam mu di wei nam mu di wei nam mu di etimi palea ma especially bi anɔpa kora wodwe ho ntimi nte aseɛ tie srɛ authorities no ɛnhwɛ na monka ho asɛm na yɛde ɔman sika so na ɛden ɛyɛ
120 days of President Mahama
ɔda wo meburu ma menkyia me man hene na kwa mba foto so nan kranza man hene no no otumfoɔ ɔpem so ankasa santimaura ɔman hene ba kwa ɔda Ghana ɔma Ghana din ɔhene ankasa nyɛ ɔman hene mpo ɔhene ankasa ɔda ɔman mu deɛ ne onyama ma santiman deɛ ne onyama Ghana santimaura anopayo na nambo mu ase sɛ ne bakan ni ayi kranza hene enti nana kwa mba fo sɛ oduru manhia ɔpa na ɔfa fam pa ɔtena pakan mu
ne timi ya ne de
nti bafo pima no pai nana wadaro meburu nana ni mechia wa no pai pa nana 120 days minuanom panimfo nyina akasa na me galamse ade a hunya me pa in fact honorable oka asem ni yedu babiso no asan ade ayede no oka ho asem pepepe ade bi aye security threat bia no enima manyuko ay o man asem emfa ho ne amunyiku awom se de oka yi ensuo se nya MPP fo ne nom na NDC fo ne nom na mo nkro mu ne amunyiku nkwa so mo nom bi kwaye na ese no ekoktie obi a na mom dia ma yentimi nkuntia ne se unse mpanimfo se nsa ede hye nkuto no eno ade de te na mom nsa asai ade no nya eno ade de kora no sa ade no nya sei a nsa na abubu ade no ono aka se oye ne yi a enye ne yi ya de amanyosam na ama galamse ya de ai cause MPP wo power yes MPP for na eye tie bom ti so a and NDC aba power NDC for so na eye and MPP for so kan NDC for so ti ye kwa na aba bi gina ba bia e gina because ko so gina kwantia sabe me ma adwuma no ma wo mu ti mi metiase chen obi a o table so cause I've been part of it owura se John mre so na ye adwuma no ti mi nim se galamse tie in fact then ti say that is young kanka anya some papa but I say a jinsemu last year me ka say me ye call you asma sapon yi in fact that was the day am yam hye me ma o man Ghana me hu ye because satama na ye kutie galamse na e wura mu na kwa ye mu na ye ne nkofo ko hu tokwa but say o ma ba fie wona bone ba ya adwen o ma ba fie me call was akropon a year last year was akropon fie ofa dunkwa yamfre ko nyina efie nipa gu kwan ho na onko ha ya akra samantamfo ha ye anyinam kwan ohu se osi no omgu kwan ho omo ye enya de aye esabi yafunya de we ani ya de obi ehu demon because of kwan ya fa so aye konuntia na kwan ya kono de abufu kura no se ensa bebre wo hoyi na wo de to chance ni so a aduane wo mbehwie to agu nipa du ya de chance keto abi eso so obi amfa nsantum eni de enye yi Lands and Natural Resource so okutia galamse Minerals Commission ekutia galamse Forestry Commission ekutia galamse EP ekutia galamse Ghana Police Service ekutia galamse Ghana Forces ekutia galamse basically I didn't see anything into us. I think that maka abanyi ne humfrim they declare all the forest areas military zone The declared military zone we are. I feel Ghana Forces Frontier near Forest Protection Unit, wing of the armed forces are on me quiet so about home by mine. Many are soldier for Juma. Soldier near all year Juma. We a Minister of Defense on few. They don't take instructions from civilians, from politicians. Or per se soldier, you know, comply with us. He's offering the superior. And even Minister of Defense, Kase, Obi, Akochi Obi, now a party chairman. Na Onyano, Opa Kokache Defense Minister, or friend dear, Obijan, because on one on the edge. That's how it here. Now, Obena Kovia Mabua, Yenia. Obewa kuma papa se bi obaso tie galamse na ni krom ye galamse ho a obedi otima kwati obi because we MP ye beto ase o sa pese ye to obama no mo sa babiem na nse me ka sem bi na ebe yenkofo de yenkofo de but sa na madwen kire me Yura Mahama bae o national security a ye wo coordinator ene ye operations and what special operations no de enua Richard Japa akoto ano. What is more special than Galamsey fight? By any Abuhuna, a Yahoo come, Ibehunu affiliates now will be fee no nam. Yasman said, Uncle Cochi will be in Fanamra, Uncle Fight, Uncle 2 Smith, Uncle Tibin Timra. I think that a brand here, maybe who Moja would moon ne said, see any near ma. Or wait me Galamsey fight, pa. And also knows that that's what they said me here, or can't my own tea. Of course, on uncontested election be and no be any assembly. And when you said the entire constant team can say too many instructions or idea we home. Untiming yada. Sir, Yera Mahama Pa on commission Richard Japa. Richard, Yadoba said by special operations. Bibian why special changalam say. Name you only take instructions from me, the president, and the coordinator of national security. Na yamano you can say according gadgets out here. Only the Jamaica because a former military officer. They work with coordinate. Omun shadan sorry keke so mkoye adwuma. And on make an announcement to Chrome. The the troops normally call a fear mu echo searching go for no. If you put search near kwayem. Near man kwai. No on konkoye because me say me ma catch you Mahama say any kwan say the natural resources e share MP sada. Obi o MP no ni kwa say man kwa man minister. O ya MP.
Adai.
Adana. Nkofo mbeba ho. Ya chire machine. Ya yewe ne constituency. Because say mini nua NDC bi o nya MP say o na otakwa before enuam rekudu kabaya no. Finidi na ni modu kakra o itia kakra. Me finidi. Na me ne wo ATV. Ya wana. Nya course hard ye call commercial break no friend back cross waba na waba akra na o hwe no also okay no TV sunti ma mi na me fro o friend also oba so talk ne care engine ska no ba na enso to o mema ni bi fan so no fan to care engine fan ko eh number cho oba so an kan kire me so mi ni o say oh sir no this for no that speaker na me ni ATM sir so oba sir ba constituency obi ma me ahwe. Number 2 na ono a share ne story of papa bia oye nyame ni pantimi mo asra okọ ni se oni obi akọfa afuru na ahwe ni dibia wa asore mu ahwe ni buase beba to o man is ka kakra no fo ba no hospital and also sasika wedi pacho minya bi meni ni gina ho na o share na yi kire me bad ba ko no de meti yo ampa am ka chen so wo sa ko parliament am ya hwe olusu elections no. The very day okacha say nkofo no campaign omo yeti ame enti natural resource no e ho sika ho ba bia sika obi aso ho amane ho anana brebo ye abofra say ye ma brebo to aduane so a aka dan wadi bronya o se mu ode na mu ho na abonyo so eden e bata nyame anya adu na omo tia na se bofra mpena kisa asema ba efie gya adum
and you be an you.
Have you remember for
experienced person like me
or the secano a sa say ya
empire fran no
na yensa asem na me nua kabire ka ho asem de enua pani me am offer kwa me jan aya tie no na da kofa na betre wa fidies no nka nsa asem wedding enkyerɛ yenya nsesa asamra no na ajapade ne meye manfo no de say be ya manfo no mumbe bedie ni mu na ya hwe kwan ya ombetu agudie ene de won bia na and say on Japade for that chimano. Say the young one, say a kutia, firma good year, ye tunu kwamboneso. I mean, I can say illegal. I said, dear be a bonibia, corona dear. Firma good year, ye tunu boneso. And the idea, man, your some when PPNDC, you have mails in the statute, task force. Uncle Wien, I said, Oja Hokoya, you remember Betwaso. Which is some. You were good for the buy. Or some in presidency at Tosso, so the minion kind. We are garam stop by, interministerial by, Juan by, Nina Uncle Sierra. A do be na fidi say Abbas say withdraw military no. From withdraw in 2022. That was when because don't feel say nyeme bi enko ye nti withdraw mo. Ya withdraw one a page animu. Go and check gold revenue 2022. That was a time a man who mneswa ma fidi say obi apese dan mu wo hwe a konongo. So wo hwe sa video na enko for dan mu. No mo si dan ka Christ. Wo ka say nipa na team but na man for say ase amutu from a good year. Ohia no wo oman mu pa. Nti baabi a sika wo bia no enipa ni bresa de ye be pre akwakohwe bi ko bia pa hoto. Nanso na sesi aye ka sei NDC for na ye garam sei. No pe ompe sa pepe ne tie. MPP ni NDC. Oh me ka say officer na mrantie bi na omakotwa nua kwambone so na ye chi om. Omba say John o kan okre. Ya me fa de currency na ade no me bibia na so fa ya nwia so mo kan cross ya nwia so anama nwia na die chemu o so fa ya wa ban mu tie de fa ba de nwia nti obi wa ban mu a o mo ya japade na o fa ba o nwia sa na ye tie dis because NDC 40 was on fi bibia organ bia no o mo na o ntie o dia one MPP what power the same thing bibia organ bia o mo dia because o mo aban mu sa kasa no ni sa subano entimi moyen because yen na ya jetum say niema edi nya na me no ya adwen blue gas or say water gas or say community gas no
so jaisa
nana agudie wo ye ni so
community gas
me say agudie wo ye ni so
ade
ebi omko field order
gas na omo protect water bodies amaye
oh me see nana
oh there be charge jaisa bia wonti ase onti omadwuma na
nyame anya do obi kotonsuo man nsuo de nako asema kana munti ntia yame anya do obi kotonsuo man nsuo de nako aso akofa asema bra yen
ade ya ntete omo si ya train omo
sa 1 week or 2 weeks no train military train officers Quran ebre nya water guard
but say we no more specific duty
yes specific me think say say yes omo ye undercover informants so saying
to omo no madwuma ne say tie Charles
me bacho informant ben she uniform so obi wo me area na se minim say uniform she we wo me informant omo ame our informants no ye copy omo villages so abra obi anim so omo ye informant me ye adwuma no na ye wo informants e wo every forest area na depending on information ade be man no arrest e be make bia na ye wo de ye de ma nti incentives bi o ha de ma o ma say be ya nipa na ye adwuma on kase bia o ye adwuma na den ato agu nti wo nim informant o area ho e na ya ma o phones de kai bi kura tu na ye chainsaw a ofre headquarters na ya leti team a ye closer no makokochi omo chi a ye ton a ye o percentage bi den ye de ma informant no this o person obi ye informant a ye nkoche ne jesi enshane
say be the launch ne keke ne ye de show but
o launch informant what be that national security for unimomo do you know them so obi an catch national security ni a unim no
minim jakpa
few of them because on the way I mean a senior officer and he definitely obonya engagement with the people until you be hu no but the ototo kokko kwan ho informant our national security ni unim no the way trotro driver the way Uber driver the way taxi driver ya fana or inform state no e wo the air cost no unim no he now ukofo Uber ne ka just national security na drive Uber na oba
bedin komo ukofukra bedin komo
ufukra ni komo ti mo men kan okre en kire ye ho ye pese ye tu ase a ye betime tu ase but it's because of amanyo sem na ye nyina ye pese ye de yenti and am I do baby adru what are you telling me say ye wa ko chi regional chairman machines near the alcohol. Everything you man everything Messi. Yewra Mahama Baba kana bontin so. But I'm saying that moment kind of question say Yewra Kofi Amaboa ne chairman I want a constituency. Say mon fan chairman me kan say na oye. Ne say oye galamsey na say wa kwakwo to say ya che no. Obeti ma hwe. See em fan ko okoye election won biem.
Sisi kra fe kwa na omo kra be pay license.
Enti look ye pese etu ase a ye betime tu ase ye mpese betu ase a ye de be ye kasa ne amanyosem de bia every say external aggression be ba o man we so a are we saying say ye soldier for no ntimi nko na ani omo ho yelen o man mu asase na ye galamsey o so ne kase ye say regions na ye no na if you ba western region is it baby na ye galamsey baby Oko Western Nova, is it baby and Egalamsey? Debbie, Oko Ashanti, baby and Egalamsey, BA, and the northern region. And you name the hotspot. And I'm suggesting to this government, I hope Brazil, Mama, wouldn't say in our door, your person. We want you to succeed because of Syria, Ghana, Bay. Eh, me, I'm be me home bedding, the home bedroom. Nemo say, Yan said, yes, and Pennyfosi and found to be a said it to her. We're dang be flat of them. I'm pleading with the president. That Richard Japa, national security officer in charge of special operations, you know. A branch and operations, you know. I say go beyond a fee, a national security issue. Because we will catch him say Galamsey national security issues. We are not being only Masma Oka. Could be a Western North affect your money. I see, and I didn't tell you no Boko. Sabi omo ka kra ya no mo kontokwa ho na abaye o man ni na asade because bokofo ya o ma e kan man no mo man ma de si wo ho no penifo se kan ntia na den na account enti ba bia an affect ye nyinara enti ye tu ase a mo ma yanyire ho na yan kan ye in fact saminu MPP ni de Galamsey politics a untimi mbremu no bebre ade na NDC fo anka just a year ago. Ebi say omo timi the 1 week to ase. Ebi say omo betimi the 1 day to ase. Ebi say omo declare a state of emergency. Hwan. But the question is say yare a yentimi amfa mfie nwotwe ansa no yentimi mfa na awotwe nsa. Even another Dan Kwaku with all in a commitment out in the presidency crato on the line 8 years when timi to everywhere. Menye sure say 120 days no Yewra Mahama ebitimi aye magic be to ase. Then so aye kwan aye faso aye ya man yosem that ye petumia ye won some aye den ye ka I say fidie ye aboa eyina ni sunko ukona fidie na gya no so ani sunko enipa de fidie yi ni nan ya otimi de nsasane na mu yi ni nsane nan na boma obekọ na oda ho na otiem sanete now this is in power and Ghana for catch up say hey mu catch and say aban betimi aye na otwe dia na mu so nye na otwe but that is not the case see betumi dia they say government should declare those areas a military zone. Now you prepare say budget na ye dey ma water gas na budget ye dey ma hwan for no nyan. Ye mfa ma Ghana forces. Na omunti forest protection unit a ombo ho afibo. Na say ye fa mrante ne rukutu ma de ombe nso ombe train no mo forest ho a. Say Yewra say John wu na ote ase a. Ya me fa nsie. Nje na ye nyina nsa na ye hu say Galamsey area sports bi na ha ye dwen. Ani ba bi illegal chainsaw no. Ye ne Ghana forces wo ye MOU. Sanka ye be release forest na mom de military training military zone ye nyina ya wo hai menua lawyer MP ene menua kabira beka achiase what is o mutu Galamsey o na ba what be da what is Galamsey for kra kotwam o area so mo twam akokeke omo twam omo de omo machine e twam achiase forest ni area e twam akọ what be da so ye adwen say e betu ase a enhye da nya bibia ehu ai bro so President Mahama Banne no can say I've handed over all the forest areas to the Ghana Armed Forces. Now Armed Forces Babonti be declared area how see signpost say aha a military zone back off. Now me count 9 ye mom 1 week amnesty. Obia be in Niamede every ho. Because ohwe atu a ye training for na eba o area ha. Sabi obi sichiro matwa nipa na be free area ho na mom de akwa say of an anti kro NDC for netu NDC for buy NDC buy na aba kuro no o we ni no mi a ofase besu wa mia so yesu so ofase na so ye twa nti the ball is in their court omo hu kwan amfa so omo nya because the nipa so neto aba ma omo den e baaye nti sade ye abato sem wo man mu a ye de abato gina kwan a ye befa so a ye be benefit nti na ye to aba na mu nya kwan ye befa so ye be ma omo ne tumpo nti no sa ne ma we nana entwa da na se kroyi aye we obi abi mbe adwen say o ti company kra depend on the regime a wo sisi ye wo pa the company ne 2025 me boa NDC kwa we NDC ni mi wan so no enka wo te ne 10 years ago a ebia na woni sa ahode na bitimi den e dey company no but this is the time when ya sa nimdie ne adwen a obeso obobra bi enso enne ade o kasa wo te company ne ma NDC nko na MPP mra ye be target o makoma ye me ya for those businessmen a page during the MPP time ade ne de be om because when the MPP came to power offer enemy am offer why adwuma de ama aban yes why adwuma man the party o ye ntua me ka yes me ye o NDC ni ntua nka for 8 years na obi a wa bobrese me mfidie go na japade na onam ton na japade akutua bank for ka what kind of a country is this oba no say obi a wa adwuma ye ntua nka yes o NDC ni na oton na japade edu ba bi dia ma me hwe hoye what that day offer me telephone bi e ka sikase me kire me such a man who could feed not less than maybe 1,000 people edu ba bi no onam sresre because ni boni nyina no say under a certain regime onya contract eyeye na are yakase ye nyamsonfo a hantem bitim say urade ye wahu nipa bobo nyankopon oye nyobrohufo nyankopon pa enka every day in there can you page na ho a o kasa nyina na nyame agine nkwan den afiri ni sem because ye kan yanim di manyame sompa but akoma na ikuta ye ne de wachichiri we talk as if Ghana no ye ba power ye be cancel de say do ye man na ya ankasa ye say atwa ye ho na ye say o man no because o man ni nyina so Kabila onya Ghana ni o yemosini nti say enne as say ye man opportunity oninim die kwan so na oye bibi kra de boa oman na enam se onka ye hunti ye hunu se oye Ghana ni nti ebedu ba bi no ya nhwe ni ye a de sese ba bi ese ye koduru asoman ma no even though ye nuru ho mom de eguso opem fi se ye nya koma te se ye nua Traore anayesa na no Traore na o kan se bi enra me hwe no social media me de masem usi o se ami general bi akọ report no ewa America anenso okai nyina ye tro de mu ba ko pede ne ya de ne ya ne se oye bibini o se asem nyina ni na ntro but de ne ya pa ne se ni bo kan asem no onye broni oye bibini because any time bi ya pese destroy Africa bia no ye su bibini and de destroy Africa
ye de destroy ye sanity anytime be a Ghana you person destroy man bia no you for be fufuro bia because you see nana in this country groceries are what Ghana ha nyina grocery shops are say Ghana tell me one I Ghana need ya okay a life
poku trading
okay boachi mattress okay apia menkan okay adai cutlass company ben na wetin maka chem say oh my say see I did more than 30 years I Ghana need ya
ya kan me match restaurant bi wo enkran ha
yeah
ni nua Ghana ni hu say restaurant na ekoso pa no ena okoboss social media video ho na video bi aba na ade pa say monkohwe say ha say na aduane no nema na ode ye ni nyina asay ndu didi wa ha say a emo anko na video yi circulate ene restaurant kese pa o ebegu na so na etimi bo obi pa ma ne gisika so okoka obi hu asem ense no na nipa na agi sa sika no nya Kabila kan bibi wo se sika ye pene nya den ye prepare sika ye ntumi ni
mo sika na ye prepare no ye prepare sika no bia ye ntumi ni ya menshira Ghana Reverend Charles Ousu ena ye tene nka no Dr. James Kwabena Bonfa Jr. ha Honorable Isaac Boamanya Akon MP lawyer papa enso wa ha and Reverend Charles Usu so ewa ha. You see adie mitimi pon tem bi afri sabre ko bia mitimi pon.
Obama 10 minutes there. You was a bit video.
Pacho we na 10 minutes bia wa ha. Who be 5. Mama 5. Doc. Pacho na dey be 5 na eko.
Cardinal.
Yes, doc.
Ne yaka nyina ne tofa bone se.
Asem ni nyina awie ye ne se.
Se omanfo na wo mote efamu agudie no so no. Wo chemu na wo ma omo ohamu nchemu aduonu. Give them 20% ownership of whatever is exploited. Wo ma local assembly ni regional assembly wo hono wo ma wo mo so e bia 10%, where you 30% ownership. No the 70 aka no ma oman no to say the one is here ya oman no fa 100% na. Nipa na wo mo to no be bo ade no ho ban. Won be bo ho ban ahwe se ye mfa kwati kwan entu. Na nkomo na ye di na ya na yakohwa no wo ankrankran ene akuo enkitenkite no nko. In fact, big mining companies are one mo. Wo mu dwumadi ani bi e wo no ma e fa kwati kwan so.
Yes, dodo no kra.
What I mean no, so I'm being careful. I'm being very careful. Because ya ntwe ni ye na afa so me sa kasa ye kan say asumasi for ye de brush back on ye de afro obia no me nye sa kasa no ntu ye woni pa bone fo wo fie bia mu fie bia mensa wo ane ye woni pa papa fo wo fie bia mu na so ye kan na ye de tra obia na ye de fra obia ya na ema bone ko ana oko a sese ye de ko etia bone no etosin kakra cardinal enti hormone no de me say timu ni say yen hwe mra ne biom article 257 clause 6 now versus the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 Act 703 no ya amendments kakra but essentially a change bibia structure kakra bi ne ye sika bi no mu ne ade a sese ye hwe na yetoto ano nti mesre say nkomo no ye di no yen hwe ma no nko ho no minua Kofi Amaboa minister oda no say ye hwe mra mu nsachaye no bi mu a me fi se ebeboa ye nyina cardinal me kan no wi a nkrata me no bi da manim han mo me kan for me like me kan nyina 2005 economic development in Africa rethinking the role of foreign direct investment United Nations and Ghana a wildlife report 2004 within the same period. Cardinal Tio, trade in wildlife as bushmeat in Ghana is estimated to be worth 200 to 300 million USD per annum. The trade in wildlife as bushmeat in Ghana is estimated to be worth USD 200 to 300 million per annum. A recent study of an area next to one of Ghana's protected areas estimates the value of wildlife as USD 140,000 for an area of only 30 square kilometers. OECD report, Cardinal Tia, or say, Ghana's mining accounted for 11% of total revenues collected by Ghana's Internal Revenue Service.
11%.
Yes, that's the important part. A calculation based on 2003 government figures of the total value of mineral exports juxtaposed to income revenue derived from mineral taxes shows that Ghana earned only about 5% of the total value of exports. That is about 46.7 million USD out of the total mineral export of 893.6 million USD. Enti enama remunama yenya no ehun dwa no kwa timi yenya free 200 to 300 million dollars. Efamu agudi aye 2 years abre no mu no my 46.7 million. nsosuye eden mfini no cardinal enye nsosuye ketwa yen san hwe biom sedi ye ma yani ekun efamu agudie ni tuo ho ene se ya ese ye nya edi yen ene kwan ya yankasa yentimi mfa so emoban de mesre ne se Minia Charles can say be Charles not that I disagree with you but your experience say who they are so that for no kwa and we have seen it before we are who gambat the operation why who they are soldier for kwa say won ko di juma it hasn't been the solution ya nhwa mra ne biom na ya mfo manfo no ankasa na wo mote efamu agudie no so do ama banbo no mu a you know the best security is the security that come from the people so ja for na ko no modo do yesay omodo do yesay sabi enti ya de ahoden ni tumidie too much komu a na ya ne omanfo na ninkita ho ama wo ma anya properly involved a obetwi the Ghana Armed Forces all the 3 wings akwakogu one place enkosi aga because won see edipa
Mate, medase. Doc, medase. Honorable.
Nana.
Papa.
Amemefa masem amedi twatu nefi. Young brother Sami Jemfi. The incident over the weekend we see. In Sema minority caucus of parliament. Yedi tugwa mandi. Omanpenyin so na kwentu nsem kakra meka wansem meka de mebieni. Na meka men kandi because oye Sami Jimfi ebia the masem no to na America de sido na ye de aboye ho kokko asoman na oman ne edwumayefo as in government and government functionaries there say what the asudi she wonsa de beboa na ye nchechiro mana ye wo subana o se de ye danedi ne ho tew na oboa ma oman nso okwo enumunyam Omanpenyin Mahama just a week or 2 ago or launching the code of ethics and conduct. Now them code in him Omanpenyin Mayeta said there from ministers to deputy ministers to CEOs and all other government functionaries. Or said there won't sooner one ban or chair in Crawford why a crowd there would debu in a needy what Bemagana for when they juma wayim. It is a baby okushia agrada amiminim so okọ chapulu so okọ program bi no okushia no na se agrada aka cho de ebia mepe fuel na ekọ car mu car no so na ebi no weka de we invade the privacy car no na we boy abo na ato agrada na foforo kan na ekọ bag im na sika owo bag im nyina ye dollars because ahwe bag im mo so tina Sikana oyi fi $1 oyi dollar no oboy ma na otwe dollars no sha se do kan and the question I ask is it is say Sami Jemfi we je see this there abane ba 4 months pay to 5 months nipa benya gold board kakra what the show say Ghana cedi no ye illegal tender say we je di dollars na say odi wo Ghana there and then you count this money what na edema agrada the quay. Now issues are you raising from the minority point on a day. Them suban opulence, public display of wealth. As what the urban shawonsa all of a sudden na yabedan iskafo. Eneda maintain nature even car cra or use in a crown. This street value of $450,000 US. Lexus na okitano. Now Lexus no aban na Ottoman in this position as a gold board CEO ana. Me check so far che de onya ban gold board and wato them car na man. Then so onya ban auto them car ni man or ye nansa ne private car auto yana. Now, so a private car, $450,000 US thereabouts for it, you know. Abe Juma na why over time I would in them scan or the quarter them card. So anya na so no try no be the car ni chena. yebotum yehu nipa oche ne kan whether in future no nipa ne da chende or pay interest bi we dwuma whether ahye ne nsem do ndi another aban ne ho faso bi ana. These are the call na oboa ma ye de check yen governance system, because say anhwe ne ne yantenten nipa a worry ba na dwuma a worry ye na ade na by the time you be realize no na ye ne nkrofo ni na ye government appointees ni na wa be dan nkrofo a wo use one office no for corruption and corruption related activities. As right. At now, my position on the day, Sir Oman Penyin, Minister in charge of communication, what's it or the publication about the Oman Penyin way to Kwan Oba also Beshushim, maintain the chief of staff for our friend way to name him. Nankas also as Sami Jemfisu will issue a public apology. I think the public apology is in the right direction, but also or said at least Yeshishim. Na omane ma yehu ni gina pobia de anye bia na adwuma o ye no na ni dwuma na oridi no obi techi a oru man dem sika na say cedis no we jedi what's a dollar ni say cedi no why den dollar ni be fum it why there so obi bi say sika entu menche nipa ne Ghana eko US na say obi say sika e man dollars because dollar no di o eko UK no BBC Oscar eman pounds because pounds we do why the Ghana had BBC Oscar eman dollars whilst I yen embra pona yekita yen currency act na dini nyina no o kire kwana o said the nipa efada a trade in foreign currency in this country. I have advocated there them public appointees now Oman Penyin Mahama or apa wo nyina titu right here na nketesi wo hia training or said I no call into Tibian leadership and ethics and good governance. Because I share them be bina only yen minority rape are not don't pray when ya AU Parliament House or Kasa by heart or she say are not don't pray Robana Dena. A tumo there tumuna Oman Penyin Dama one as in Mebuno or did the coincidence. It's Wama. They are, and most of them have also not had the benefits of serving in public office before, or a difference when a politician, or a difference when you come into public space. It is important today, Oman Penyin organize some training, orientation, and the rest for them, so that one end there in public and the rest, obotumwe chano afata. On it, that is where I end. Now. Kadam Besha say what them Oman Penyin. Oh, mamu 2 minutes pe. You see, them Oman Penyin na kwentu na yes waiter. Ye who say nipa odi Oman don or a serious constitutional breach. And I want the government to come out and explain to the good people of Ghana about Zenoro Kodo or Bani den yedru baby a yedru no. So that Ghana for yebenya regime there Oman Penyin no why gen Ghana who there say orutu kwana another or ye bibia or demrani be yejuma, because it's very very difficult. Kabila and Charles, there you have a president who knows I'm leaving the jurisdiction to go and visit a vice president. Vice president you know 1 year she crown or said the letter by constitution article 59 the president shall write to the speaker of parliament when he's out of the jurisdiction. No, say vice president in 60. The speaker of parliament is supposed to take an oath even before he can function as a president of the republic. It is a president in New vice president in New next speaker of parliament, our president, but sure letter that man. It's a speaker in How did we get there? How did we get there? And isn't it strange that Yabema Yahukwan or Manda the Madibisi? It is outrageous between and say, Siana. How are we going to explain this constitutional breach? It's a mess. For me as an individual, I need to be better about him. Now I assure Ghana so that going forward we don't get some of these things happen. This one, my main far in Chia, what try to be me favor if you have for.
You, yes,
Minia Charles, so
we are cardinal idea. I mean, found Konya Semuka Crabby. Na no yesu, and now all born to her. Quite any could be a cheshire or baby home. I don't say, ready with your chain is okay. video evidence wɔ hɔ ɔmo mbɛdi adansi so na gyina ha yi yɛkye no so pɛɛ na mmara no so ɛwɔ so kyerɛ sɛ yɛkye obi so pɛɛ a ɛsɛ sɛ yɛsi na boku no bible ma yɛte sɛ yɛwura ɛkoto yɛ na ɔstarte ɛkyerɛkyerɛ ɔbɔ asumasi a na ɔkyerɛ ɔbɔ ne a wayɛ na kwabena na ɔkyerɛ ɔtwa na no obi akɔ ɛkyerɛ sɛ no one can pass a righteousness test trene obi ani hɔ ɛwɔ asase so nti ɔka kyerɛ ɔbaa na ɔse nipa ɛwɔ ha nyinaa ntimi mmua wɔfɔ mɛwurade so mi mmua wɔfɔ na mmom kɔ nkɔyɛ saa deɛ a ɔyɛ ebiem na deɛ kyɛn sɛ ɛden ama so me nua sɛ megya mfi me mu ne fɔda ɔman mu ɔn sɛ yɛwɔ asɛm ɛne yɛwɔ nipa wohwɛ ne nipa su a anhwɛ a wakasa yɛnkosi na bɔ koraa because of deɛ wadwee mu fi sɛ wayɛ mmerɛ bi nti maame a ɔkyɛn ne sika yi ebi dɔ no ebi so tan no nti obi bɛtumi agyina maame so aka sɛ sika a ɔde kɔmaa ne nti ba ɔde ma obi anka ɔpɛ nipa deɛ kuro yi ahokyerɛ ne ohia nti ayɛ ansɛm bebree sɛ asɛm ketewa bi sɛ yɛtumi so ma no yɛ ketentente kɛseɛ paa ɔkɔ asɔndan mu ɛne yɛ fundraising ɛna oyi sɛ sika na ɔde kɔtoo hɔ a ebi anka bɛka koraa yɛnka ne kɛse saa but yɛyɛ am sɛ yɛ give you okuro mu deɛ yɛyɛ paa unfortunately tirimpo a ɛwɔ ne tim sɛ meyɛ obi adɔyɛ na onim sɛ bi yɛde ne bɛto ɛka sɛ ɛmmɔnten so nti fi sɛ me nua ka sua deɛ wɔm ne sɛ obi asua firim sɛ sɛbi sɛ woyɛ wowɔ ɔman mu na sɛ wadu mpɛmpɛnsoɔ bi sɛ ɔyɛ aban adwuma ɔnyɛ aban adwuma o ɛnam ne mfoni ahodoɔ a ɛnam mmɔnten so nti sɛ woyɛ biribi a na wayɛ extra careful but yɛbua ne kumfo anyɛ yie wɔyɛ yi na di anyɛ yie na wɔkura nyɛ asɛm sɛ yɛsɔ mu bebree saa no nyɛ asɛm bia meme nhunu sɛ yɛ asɛm bi ɛboro so bia issue bɛyi ni mate sɛ nkɔfoɔ de totototo nsɛm ho obi koraa sɛ ɛyi saman na di sika maa no ɛno sɛ yɛ okay ɔno deɛ wɔ ne bɔtɔm na ɔde ama obi ɛna ɛntia Ghana mmara sɛ wobɛwɔ Ghana wɔwɔ amanɔne sika wɔ bɔtɔm ɛtia saa ɛtia mmara saa
nim saa
me de me hu bi deɛ na sɛ mmara no ɛtia deɛ obi nka me ɛntie and sɛbi yɛwura Sami Gyamfi a yɛnua Sami Gyamfi ɔyɛ aberanteɛ ne mekyɛn ne nti mɛka sɛ me nua kuma mmerɛ bi nkyɛn bi a ɛna obi de bɛto mmɔnten so sɛ wɔde ne yere ɛna Miami hotels a ɛyɛ a very expensive hotel ɛgye ne yere ni na oni dollar nka ɔbɛn no ɔde akɔ hɔ we cannot also say sɛ Sami Gyamfi ɔte fie a na ɔnya mɛyɛ aban adwuma na wɔnidi na ɔni hwee deɛ amanyɔfoɔ yɛ ma yɛ ho bɛtan a nkɔfoɔ tan amanyɔfoɔ bebrebe nyinaa yɛ sɛdeɛ yɛkwan yɛfa so a yɛtwitwa yɛn ho few dollars yɛaso ma mana bɛyɛ ɛnɛ politics kɛseɛ a gegegegegegege ɔkyena obi so ba aban mu a ɔkɔma obi bibiaa na nso akɔyɛ asɛ foforɔ nti da biaa yɛ ma nipa ɛwɔ mmɔnten hu amanyɔfoɔ so ɔmo yɛ akorɔmfoɔ me sɛ yɛ n'adwuma a ɔyɛ as gold board ɛna yɛhu hwehwɛ mu ne yɛhu sɛ sika bi ayera ɔman sika bi ɛna yɛka ho asɛm nana mesom paa ba me no ka sɛ obi sika yera ɔman sika yera pacho obi sika yera ayɛ kɔhwɛ yɛhu nti yɛbɛkɔ akɔhwɛ Sami Gyamfi nkyɛn ana mamu mɛ so nneɛma bi so bebree nyɛ no ho memetiwe Sami ɔmfa sɛ sika no ma me ɔde ma me kora de amegye ba ɔmfa ma me ɛna ɔde ama obi foforɔ the first time ɔmfa ama me ɔde kɔma obi foforɔ no ɛnkyerɛ sɛ mim madwe mu no wayɛ bɔne biara nti bi deɛ bɛyɛ me nwanwa sɛ ɔmampanin Mahama ba na ɔka saa asɛm wɔ nti ɔreasane yɛwura Sami Gyamfi yɛnua Sami Gyamfi saa asɛm wɔ nti yɛ suspend no saa asɛm wɔ nti yɛtwe na so ɔkwan bi so saa asɛm wɔ nti yɛyi na di a ka ɔmampanin ho bɛyɛ me nwanwa yie ɛfiri sɛ naano obi de kaa mmienu bɛkyɛ ɔmampanin a ɔdan de ma ɔman ma ɛni baabi a kaa no firi baeɛ kaa mmienu boɔ ɛne $800 sɛ no ɛpɛ ɔmampanin gye kaa no ɔmo nso ɔde akyɛ yɛn ɔmampanin andonati ama yɛn ɛnyɛ akyɛdeɛ no bia sɛ sika na nipa no bɛa na ɔso ɔde sika no ama yɛn a nka nyɛ akyɛdeɛ kaa yɛ sika yɛ kaa ana mewa so mesrɛ Sami Gyamfi ansa ɔba bɛyɛ ɛka sɛ lead ɛwɔ gold board no na ɔyɛ NDC National Communication Officer ana mewa nye 2 terms na akɔ nye 2 terms a
2 terms
nana sɛsi hwɛ yɛyɛ campaign ye nuanom bebre betimi aka obi timi de 1,000 t-shirt 5,000 t-shirt 2,000 t-shirt obi ko timi to pick up de be che obi so on fan konko campaign the first one for sika na nkasa anshep envelope man farm nti enye sika na enye sika
ejene kwakra ne say
boni bia nri ho bibia nsiye
Martin me da
mama brantie ni nya na somdwie na onye na dwuma bibia nsiye
ka kire
oye boni a ye beka ho asem me nsuro sami jamfi o training dia me no ya dwe me nsuro sami jamfi me sami me na nka me wura kama iska nka me to do no so ba gisa training fi nka me to pro no me yi wi ansa ma fro se bra beji sabe obi ehu nti sa training na o ka ho asem no ba sami jamfi onye boni bia
Cardinal
onye boni bia
ayi me asen we nka bi but one yenye very careful enye ne boni anase enye ne boni asem nka asem bi ni ho asem e wo ho eye the Sami Jamfi standard.
He who comes to equity,
not even equity issue, Sami Jamfi standard no ye den ya and the date here May 14 2025 me boa.
Yeah.
Fan say May 14 2024 ana Sami Jamfi ti ba bia Charles Owusuti ana asase me see ye anka Sami Jamfi verdict on that matter be den maybe
Catcher honorable Boama say ne Fanglish that is fancy plus English no do so do ebe mbredo
Ghana no yeah some time ago the biggest problem Ghana has yep how pa no cry ye how enkomodie mu the insincerity with which we discuss our problems
and principles.
That's the point. Me say the Sami Jamfi standard. What would he have said?
Let it be so. Dr. James Kwabrabon Virginia, Reverend Charles Owusu, and Honorable Isaac Boame Nyako. Efia MP, Omo, and Nano Pay, Odu Nyansa, Ebe Boye, and the one as a papa. Kofi Conversion, the royal baby is up next. Your friend and I are waiting from the Cardinal. Metra Muma Ghana's Morning Voice Chairman General Kwame Sefakain. Dr. Father Dixon Kennedy Asanto says so for Kujas and Testament Bafo, Peter Square, Isaac Kopoko Pretty Joyce, Dominic Nyanyu Vona Nape Prama, maybe I'm a cough and Udia and Kan Kwame Yabua, Madame was when I'm Shisha Yamidi Huchame. Yamia much and I bet was the radiation G. Ejobia, Macrabunia.
Ain't if you see would die, come on, we see you, come on. Na wenya hofo kama na ve leakages nkwa esan say o plumber alpha pipe papa anya adwumenti enti kai plumber bia wo ye adwuma ma bia say on fa DPS pipe nkwa ma adwuma ma enu na wo gidi wo plumber chira kwa Coca-Cola chirewa ana afre 0543 662 727 DPS pipe chidie ashenso die DPS pipe nyina hene.
Efie bia be ye nika na ejina busu ewomuo na mom ayonkofa ye da ye ne nyanyemu a ye ne omutifie ntem etimi mafia setena ye nika sronko ekoba ne saa no baba be ka busua ne ho prekope enunti ewose ye hwem omunyina pomudin mu na sanso be ye hodi a na eye Joe's Pet Foods, Joe's Biscuits, any canine Greek dog food ewo hoi protein in